It's the clash of Galway and Laois. Galway hot favourites, but Laois, of course, have given them a real run of it in the last 2 seasons. Reporting for us is Pádraig Lodge.
A crowd of 10,000 gathered at O'Connor Park for the first of the semi-finals last night. Laois seeking to reach a first Leinster final in 30 years, while Galway, having hammered Dublin, were hoping to continue that good form into the O'Connor Park contest. Laois, who were massive outsiders, made a promising start with an early point from midfielder Paddy Purcell, which tied up the match 9 minutes in. And the long-serving Tommy Fitzgerald followed up with a well-taken score for the O'Moore County, which left the match level at 2 points each, 14 minutes in. But Laois, who were playing against a very strong wind, were soon dealt a hammer blow. A long-range effort from cornerback Johnny Cohen caught everybody by surprise and ended up in the net. It seemed to drain the confidence from the Laois team. They conceded 1-16 without reply on the run to half-time. Cathal Mannion chipped in with this point for the tribesmen. Laois did have extra men back in defence, but they couldn't stop the maroon and white tide. Galway in front by 19 points at the break, 118 to 2 points. Cheddar Plunkett's team made a bright start to the second half with 3 quick points, including this effort from Paddy Purcell. Even though victory was now beyond them, they continued to work hard, and they were rewarded with a goal which arrived from Stephen Picky Marr. He came in as a late replacement for PJ Scully in the Laois starting team. Still a long way back, but a fine finish from Marr. There was no stopping Galway though as they powered on relentlessly. Joe Canning slotting home this goal, 18 points now between the teams in a depressingly one-sided contest. Brilliant catch and finish from Canning, who was named man of the match. And the third goal arrived courtesy of substitute Davy Glennon, who saw plenty of ball when he was introduced. It's a match, though, from which Galway will have learned very little. At their ease, the men from the West are through to the Leinster final, hammering Laois by 328 to 114.
We were hugely disappointed. Obviously we recognise the importance of the day. It was a Leinster semi-final. We had a chance earlier on today to get into a Leinster final. It's been 30 years since we've been there. Disappointed. I suppose for 15, 18 minutes we were very, very competitive. I think the score was 3 points to 2. I think we were well set up. We probably just conceded a sloppy goal at that stage, but even after that I think Galway tacked on a number of scores, certainly before half-time, and created a big gap, and that was always going to be difficult to actually pull back, win or no wind.
We say it all the time to these players that they're fantastic skill and know-how and are able to hurl, and it's really trying to knock a performance out and be ruthless to perform on the day that it matters. And we have great talent, but the proof of that talent has to come forward and play and win a Leinster title.
Yeah, well, this is where they'll get their chance. Confirmation of the Leinster hurling final pairing. It's Kilkenny against Galway in Croke Park on the 5th of July. Well, Donald, how impressed were you with Kilkenny or with Galway?
I was impressed with them, Des, as Cheddar said there. I think 15 minutes was 2 points each, right? But once they got the goal went in, I think Laois fell apart a little bit in that. I think I counted 9 puck-outs in a row they lost, and Galway tacked on 9 points, and that was the end of the game. That was between the 18th and 31st minute, right? So there was the game gone now. Whether Owen Riley, conceded that goal, it was a soft enough goal, but maybe, that put them under fierce pressure. But you'd have to say it's a pity that Laois, weren't closer, because they're trying to build a team there, and they have a lot of good structures put in, and they play a good brand of hurling, but Galway were just too strong for them last night.
You've been showing me how Galway adapted to the game as it progressed.
Yeah, like Cheddar said there, with 16 minutes into the game, just 3 points to 2, and Galway hit a lot of wide. They seem to be losing their way a small bit, and playing balls into the corner, like they should have known that Laois were going to play sweepers at the back. We highlight 4 Laois defenders here with 1 Galway attacker, and it really came to a head in the 15th minute. Cathal Mannion won the ball, went up along the line. He had loads of options, but hit again one of those trademark wides that we'd seen early on in the game. Loads of space. You highlight Joe Canning there, put a ball in front of him. He's on fire at the moment. But then Anthony Cunningham delivered a message from the line, and the message was loud and clear: carry the ball. carry the ball into traffic, into the spare man, and then Andy Smith shows how it's done. He goes on a run, he sees the space, identifies it, and moves into it. Suddenly you can see him passing by all the Laois extra defenders, and then the patience part of the game. And this is what I liked about Galway yesterday, is that little bit of maturity, the game management, that things weren't going right from. The call came from the line, from the boss, to carry the ball, but I think Anthony Cunningham would like them to see it do it a little bit faster. If once the gears go up now to bring Galway to the next level, they will need to manage the game faster than waiting 16 minutes to make that kind of change. But they did it all, in fairness to them yesterday.
Well, let's look at that, because obviously they face Kilkenny now. It's going to be a huge test for them. They'll need goals perhaps in